What's up, Dan?
What's up, man?
What are we doing today?
Doing body swaps. Gonna hit the easy button though, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'll save all the crawling around on my back on a cold floor for later. All right, I'm ready. Lift her up. All right, here we go. As Dan said, it was definitely the easy button, getting it in here to use a hoist to do all this body lifting and dropping to get it to fit. So definitely a big shout out to Dan at the Build It, Wheel It, Explore It garage here. I'm picking up a TJ tub, and I'm going to use the firewall and tunnel and maybe even the floors to just kind of graft into here and make everything easy. All right, time to go get the new chassis. Perfect. So close. Oh shit. There we go. Jeez.
Oh yeah, I forgot, you better drop it too. We gotta wait for this one to catch up to keep heading north.
Yeah. The clearance transfer case a little bit.
That's not what Ken said.
I'm joking.
We're recording now. Careful what you say. I love this camera. Got some new holes here. Frame will come through. Eyeball. Just a T-case.
Oh, okay.
But that's all I got to cut for the floor pan. That's not bad. Coming down.
that cut. There. Looking good though, just need about less than an inch more. Pretty rough. Fire no! Double wall. There she is.
I know you use some of those pucks on the trailer.
6, fish yourself.
That's a fire wall.
Got one harness on the other side.
Good.
The hardest, man. I don't know if you can. So yeah, you're right on this wide pigtail. You're like right here.
Okay. All right. Pretty much sitting in its home place here. Lots of room up front. Cut the wheel wells out.
I've got the one where, have you looked at it? Things like here, it's over my house. You gotta look and see how messy and oh yeah.
I like where the body's at. The rear tire is gonna kind of go that way as it flexes up, so we might move that up. We'll get the body mounts in, secure the body, and then we'll pull the springs and cycle the rear suspension and see where we're sitting. Close though. Yeah, so the grill can't go on. The winch is gonna have to go up a little bit because I'm not cutting the grill. And I have another winch that I'll try and tuck down a little bit, or at least move out of the way so it's not covering this sexy grill front end here. Lots of room for 37s, just saying.
We fabbed up 2 rear body mounts right here and then 2 in the front using some kind of generic Jeep Amazon brackets, and then we had to rip a 3x2 tube to get it to fit. The front was a little bit higher, so we added some 1 3/4 DOM to raise it up a little bit, and should work to hold the body of the frame so we can move it around.
All right, cycling the suspension right now. Pulled the coils out, jack the axle up, and trying to make sure we're centered on the wheel well, and we are not. Measured it up, it's about 2 inches from center. Kind of measuring center of the wheel well down, so the axle's got to go 2 inches forward, and it should be easy enough to do because everything's tacked in on the brackets. So we'll jack the body back up, move those bracket sets forward, retack it, and retest. Getting close. All right, so the brackets are moved 2 inches forward, and we are liking how this is looking. That's full stuff, and the only thing stopping the tires from going up in the axle is the body. Now those links clear that cross member. We're going to leave that cross member and mount the upper spring buckets in a different way. But did the trick. Looking good. What do you think, Brad?
I like it.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Right here.
Hell yeah. All right. Time to do some full welds. All right, we got everything finally burned in, all the brackets fully welded, moved 2 inches up. And then we got the spring perches moved to the inside, which gives you another inch wider. And now these fully clear the cross member, which is pretty cool. Fuel cell is going in there. Just got 4 body mounts set up right now. Enough to move it around and get it going. This one I want to keep, so I'll probably find a way to move that body mount over. We're going to construct another one right here, but that'll be another time, because we're about done with this phase of it. Just going to get the other coils on, so I set a little lower. These JL ones are pretty stiff. Still sitting pretty high in the back. Wheels are looking good, centered in the wheel wells. Tomorrow we'll get the other fender, get that over here, and get the inside cut out so we can get the body bolted down with the 4 mounts. I got a line on a TJ firewall, so I think I'm gonna kind of cut this one all out. I have a feeling the TJ firewall is much wider, so we'll try and we can get the booster and the clutch and steering wheel, and really trying to get the factory heater AC box to bolt in there. So all those mounts, everything will come with that firewall. Hoping that'll make life easier, so it's not starting from scratch, because that firewall is pretty toast.
Had to cut out a pretty good section on both fenders to clear the shock and spring towers, and then we'll be able to fill it in with some regular sheet metal later.
Nice.
All right, this is going to complete the first phase. Everything is bolted in and ready to get loaded up on trailer to bring home. Unfortunately, the next thing I need to get working on is the competition Suzuki buggy. I'll get back on this probably springtime, but got definitely more done than I thought I was going to get done in the time that I had, and that was the big thing. Was this is a window that I could just smash as hard as I could and get as far as I could, so I had something at least rolling, so I could roll it in the garage and kind of tinker on it. The rest of the next phases are going to be kind of slow. Some more assessment on how much of this needs to be replaced. I do have a whole pickup bed sheet with the corrugated in it that could be used, but we will see. Ended up moving it forward 2 inches from the original kind of 108, 109 range, and it looks like it's settled at 107. It's definitely sitting higher in the rear, but there's no weight. This body really isn't that heavy, and once we get the fuel tank, the rear bumper, and spare tire and all that, it'll definitely settle back down, and then we'll decide if we're going to change the coils. We tried the 4.5 inch lift metal cloak that was on the LJ. Those make it sit about an inch taller than it is now. These are the JL stock. So if we want it to drop down more after all the weight's on it, then I'm just gonna get all new metal cloak, because I like the compressed block up on top that keeps them seated. So we'll go to one of their lower lifts right now. The ones I have are 4.5. So I got a baseline to know if I want to drop it an inch, I go 3.5, etc. So should be pretty easy, but I'm going to wait till all the weight's on it, seats in it, interior, or most of the interior. That way I can get it sitting lower. Definitely, even the front's too high from where I want it. And the other thing to ponder is whether I keep 35s or go to 37s. If I went 37s, definitely would have to cut and then do like a steel bent fender that would kind of match the style, match the front. And I think that would look good, and I could try and do a patina match. Once this gets cleaned up, it's pretty nice flat green, and then do the red under and see if I can do a little hand sanding and make a fender match. But if I don't go 37s, these are actually 34s, so I take the 1.5-inch spacer, I think I could talk them. We'll let the project talk and tell me what it wants to do. We got 5 body mounts, including the front. Good enough to get home. All right, this concludes the first phase of the build, which get the chassis modified, get the body on it, at least 4 mounts kind of holding it, getting it rolling so we can kind of get it in the garage and tinker away. I got another project I got to jump on, get the comp buggy ready. It's getting an automatic transmission and some other upgrades for this comp. So I need to dive into that next, and then I'll have this on the side so I can kind of tinker away. It's not going to be nearly as fast as this. I think we got a handful of days into this, single digits from start to where it is now, and I couldn't be happier. Huge thanks to Mr. Dan, Build It, Wheel It, Explore It, for using the hoists. Brad from Riding Shotguns came over and gave me like a second wind of energy and kept things going to get a little bit further than I hoped, because we got the rear suspension fully welded in, we got the coils in a better spot, and it's sitting pretty good. The ride height is definitely going to get addressed. This is too high for my liking, but once we get all the weight on, we'll get that adjusted by switching the coils out. It's got 4.5-inch lift coils on it in the front and JL rear. We may go back to a metal cloak coil in the rear and just maybe get like a 2.5 lift. It could use some fresh coils anyway. They've been in Michigan for long enough, so they're getting kind of rusted and beat up. So new shocks, new rear shock mounts, and a bunch of other fun stuff coming. But now I get to play around, get ideas for the interior, kind of get that figured out, how I want to go, and then I think I'm gonna design at least the lower half of the bumper out of bent tube so I can protect that big booty right there. The other dilemma is 37s or not. So hit the comments. You think these 35s, actual 34s, are the right fit, or should I go with 37, which will need some trimming, and we'll do a TJ flatty flare on that. Not a tube style. I'll do the double bend so it looks similar to the stock, and then try to do a Fotina paint job on it. That's where we're at. It's going to be a few months before we get to the next phase, but this is really cool. It's been a long time coming. It has been in the family for over 50 years. This was my mom's before I was born, and it's coming back to life. Thanks for watching.